And here we go. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. It is your friend, Doc Swiner. Hello, everybody. Let me get set up in my little stand here. How are y'all? Happy Wellness Wednesday. Get situated. Hey, Cousin Tiffany signing on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. I am ready and excited. Let me get my notes. I did some research for y'all today. I am excited. So if you saw my, hey Auntie Judy, if you saw my announcement on Facebook, on social media, we are having a fun discussion today for men's health. By the way, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Nicole Swiner, the Superwoman Complex expert. Hey sis, I am a family doc here in North Carolina and author of How to Avoid the Superwoman Complex. I love doing these live broadcasts on Periscope. Once or twice a week, depending on the schedule, but definitely for Wellness Wednesday. June, being Men's Health Month, has been the month that we've been focusing more on men's health. You know, I talk a little bit more about women's health because of the Superwoman Complex and all that, but I dedicated this month to my men because we need to show them some love, show them some attention. And I asked my, let me move this a little bit closer. I asked my assistant Amy for some ideas today because, I usually, when it comes to men's health, we talked about some heavy things. We talked about some heavy things like diabetes because we, unfortunately lost a couple of musical legends recently to diabetes and the kidney effects and all that can happen. We talked about prostate cancer and the controversies between screening and not screening and getting tested for cancer and all that. And so I said, well, what should we talk about? She said, you know what? Let's talk about man flu. And I said, man flu? So I was like, yeah, we actually have a term for it. Man cold, man flu. The funny thing that happens to men that, occurs when they get sick seems to be a little bit different than women seem to deal with it. Is that right, Judy and Tiffany? Do y'all agree? It's an actual thing. So let me define it for you. And this is hilarious that a definition even exists. So we found the definition of man flu is an illness. And actually you can see this from my, I'll switch it around. You can see this from my announcement of today's scope. An illness that causes the male to be helpless and sicker than any other female member, also known as, in females, a cold, which is absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious, right? It's funny, right? So I also saw this meme on social media about, this meme on social media is, I don't want to end my broadcast. Are you sure? Cancel. There's a meme of a woman in labor. Pretty much cancel. A woman in labor, and it says on the meme, this is a picture of a woman in labor. This is the only time that women can understand what men go through when they have a cold. Really? Let's talk about it. So it sounds like Cousin Tiff and Auntie Judy do know men or male species that go through this phenomenon. And it's funny because, you think it's, something funny that we talk about in the U.S., but clearly this has, expanded to other countries. So England, for instance, has done studies, and I looked it up. So on WebMD, that's the most accurate medical research society we have. On WebMD, hey Amy, they have done studies on this whole thing. They've done studies in animals to see why. Thanks for the hearts. And yes, you have to give hearts, y'all. Give hearts to say, yay, we like this scope, and make sure to swipe up so you can share with your Twitter and your, hey Wanda, your Twitter and your Periscope followers. I appreciate that. So we're already heavy into this, Amy and Wanda, so catch up. We're talking about studies that have been done on the difference between how women and men deal with the common cold. So study in England showed that when you did surveys and asked, women and men to rate, give a level of pain or a level of severity for their symptoms, men overwhelmingly overrated their symptoms when it came to the common cold or flu symptoms. Not a surprise. They also noted that in animal studies that there was a clear difference between whether an animal was injected with, thanks for inviting followers. Thanks for inviting followers, Wanda. Make sure you guys invite followers. Who's my hair? There was a clear difference between whether an animal was injected with estrogen, which, women have more of, versus testosterone, which men have more of, and how well they tolerated pain. Studies say that there's no difference in the symptoms. So women versus men, we both, experience fever, ache, cough, fatigue. There's no difference in the type of symptoms that we experience. However, men are less likely to seek help. So this is my hypothesis. The big thing is, okay, are men just a little bit wimpier when they get sick? This is my hypothesis. Stereotypically, and this is a broad generalization. I hope some of my men pop in so they can, especially Rick Swiner. Rick Swiner and I talk about this all the time. Stereotypically, men don't really get to show their emotion. They don't really get to show their vulnerability and their sensitivity as much as women do. So when they do actually feel bad, when they do actually have a reason to complain, I don't know if they necessarily take advantage of it, but I think they allow themselves to be more vulnerable in that state. What do you think? Is that too soft on them? What do you think? Yay or nay? Is that a good assessment? So again, I think the whole deal with the man flu and the man cold, right, is because stereotypically, thanks for sharing, Tiff, because men in general, and there are many much more sensitive men nowadays that, allow themselves to share their feelings and have, emotions and all that. But because men generally and stereotypically don't get to show their emotion, the vulnerability, can't get my words together, and sensitivities, when they actually do feel bad and have colds and get sick, they they take advantage of that moment to show what they're actually feeling and to complain about it. And because they're less likely to go to the doctor and ask for medical advice, the only other people they have to complain to are, of course, their loved ones, their spouse, their partner, which is usually a woman. So that's where the whole thing comes from. That's my thought. What do you think? You agree? 1 for agree, 2 for nah, I disagree. Let's see, 1 for agree, 2 for disagree. What do you think? Is that a pretty good assessment? She'll take, okay, yeah, you'll accept that one. Okay. What do you think are some other things? Do you think it's social? Do you think it's psychological? Do you think it's biological? Is there something in the blood, in the DNA that just, we deal with things a little bit better, a little bit more, a little bit worse? Who knows? So I'll throw some ideas out there. Another idea that I have is because theoretically, and again, this is, stereotypically and all that, so there are pieces of information that can change just depending on who you're talking to. But women, because we, from a young age have had to get used to monthly menstrual cycles and all the stuff that comes with that, the cramps and the headaches and the fatigue and all that, we, I think, at an earlier age, unless someone is chronically ill, in an earlier age, hi, Simply Maritza, welcome. We are generally more conditioned to dealing with pain at an earlier age and a little bit more frequently. Hey, how are you? Welcome. We're heavy into this man cold discussion. I'm throwing out some of my hypotheses. I shared what some scientific studies said. I'm gonna throw out my hypotheses. So another hypothesis for why the man cold seems to be so severe for men is because I think women have to deal with their menstrual cycles, PMS type stuff, from as early, men are a week ago. Dang, Wanda just got right to it. I'm trying to be nice about it. She's like, boom, in a week. I think we've had to deal with menstrual cycles and migraine headaches and all of that. Men are punks. Y'all are so mean. It is what it is. There aren't any men here yet to defend themselves, so it is what it is. But we, I think, have been more conditioned to deal with pain earlier, more frequently. We've learned to suck it up. You got to get on with your life. You got to function. You got to go to work, got to go to school, do what you got to do. And then clearly, labor and delivery and the stresses of being pregnant. I mean, men, thankfully, fortunately or unfortunately, don't have to deal with the beauty and the physical condition of pregnancy. Like superwomen, we just have to deal with it. But labor, delivery, pregnancy, that's just, it's a way of life. So for the most part, again, stereotypically, so I don't want to get in trouble, we are built to endure the pain. The God, nature, etc. Everybody, we were built to take that on. I think your mothers, your elders start talking to you about it at an early age. So you're just like, okay, well, it is what it is. I got to do what I got to do. Is that healthy? Is that an assessment? That's a good assessment? Thanks, Era. Thanks, Eve. Thanks a lot for eating the apple. So yeah, so one if you agree, two for no, maybe there's some other issues involved. My friend Antoine, he's on Facebook commenting on the video. I want him to come into Periscope so we can talk about it live. One, so Wanda agrees. One, okay, good, yeah. So that's my thought. So now one thing, okay, because I'm a doctor, I have to put in my disclaimer. So we talked about, for those that are joining a little bit later, we talked about some of the studies that have been done. They've done, animal studies where they tested estrogen and testosterone levels, and there definitely was a difference. Now, one thing that studies do bring out is, okay, so some of us think that men may whine more and they may be more weak and they're punks, as Simply Maritza said. But you want to pay attention. You don't just want to brush them off because the flu actually can become something more severe. Colds, not usually, general cold lasts 7 to 10 days. Sniffles, cough, you get through it. But the flu, the actual influenza flu, does have complications. And, if you're sick and not feeling well, you do want to make sure that he's doing okay. Don't just shove him in a corner and not go check on him. Make sure that he doesn't have a high fever. Make sure he's keeping down fluids, he's eating, he's drinking, he's not in severe pain. Because if so, then clearly he needs to go to the doctor. He needs to get checked out. Again, stereotypically, men don't go to the doctor as much as women do, whether it's because of being fearful of hearing bad news or whatever. You want to check on him. So, we smile and laugh at men for having the man flu and the man cold and all that. But check on him. Get a thermometer, check and make sure that he doesn't have a temp over 102. You know what I'm saying? Take it seriously somewhat. Is that all right? Y'all agree with that? Yes? Can I get some yeses? We agree with that? Okay. All right. What are the thoughts? Y'all throw some things out there. What experiences? She was like, okay. Oh, no. Wanda is hardcore. Price Leonard is not having it. She's like, they'll be fine. Stop whining. Get over it. Oh, well, we know how to baby. And yeah. And we do great. We take great care of them. We give them attention. That's probably a lot of that too. So Simply Maurice is bringing up a good point. Maybe they use that, not all of them, maybe they use that a little bit to get some of that, maternal attention that they like from their women. Who knows? It's probably multifactorial. I don't even want to bring up what goes on in my house because he's not here to defend himself. I don't want to get into trouble. Just know that, there's a lot of attention being sought when the man cold hits the Swiner household. Love you, Rick Swiner. Had to leave work early like he was our child. Oh, no. Tiffany, you had to leave early to go get him? Oh, no. I hope he's okay. But really, guys, let's do better. So, it is what it is. Man cold exists. There's a funny website called manflu.info that had me cracking up. I mean, it looks like be better. That's what the First Lady said, Judy. Men, be better. I learned that at the United States of Women meeting this past couple of weeks ago. It was phenomenal. And the First Lady said, what's the message I want men to take from this meeting? Be better in everything. So there's this website called manflu.info, which was friggin' hilarious. It's like, it looks like the March of Dimes or like some anti-cancer website. It's so serious, but clearly funny and sarcastic. I think it was developed in England. Go check that out. It had me cracking up. I mean, it has these pictures of men just in dramatic poses. It's like, what can you do to help? It's funny. All right. Okay. So now I got some of my faithfuls on here. I want to get some advice from you. So if you've been following along with me for a while, I've been doing Periscopes for a couple of months. I'm usually on once or twice a week doing these live, and then I do the recordings, and then I do monthly blabs, which is kind of like Periscope, but you can see multiple people on the screen at one time, etc. I'm revamping kind of how I'm doing these because I definitely want to get more engagement, more interaction, more sharing. I want to spread the word and all that. Give me some ideas. So let's make this multiple choice. What type of interaction do you feel is most effective for someone like me, author, speaker, wanting to be out there in the community and doing more speaking engagements? Okay, so number 1, Periscope once a week. Number 2, Periscope twice a week. Number 3, monthly blabs. What do you think is most effective? Because I really, I want to keep people engaged. I want to keep people excited. I don't want to bore people. I want to do things that people are really actually going to look into. Okay, so Wanda says Blab. Okay. So Blab, Simply Maritza, Blab on Google Chrome. So you use Google Chrome instead of Internet Explorer or Safari. www.blab.im, like instant messenger, is a way that you can do Periscope like this. So it's a live broadcast or recorded, but it's me and another guest. So for instance, last Friday I did a wonderful blab on men's health with my friend Gerard Droz, who is an author and a speaker. It's saved on my Blab profile. So if you join blab.im/Doc Swiner, you'll see the recording for that and my other guests. But you can interact like this. We can text, we can talk, but it's up to 4 people talking on screen at a time. Wanda says she likes Blab. Okay. How about Judy and Tiffany? I know y'all join me a lot here. Tell me. So number 1, what did I say? I said Periscope once a week. Number 2, Periscope twice a week. Number 3, Blab. What's your favorite? Depending on where I am, I'll get a handful of folks watching 1 and 3. Okay, I hear you, Simply Maritza. Okay, so I'm revamping some things. I'm definitely excited about book number 2, a follow-up. Presence is important, right? But I want to make sure it's effective. Tiffany says number 1 and 3. Okay, so y'all, in general, once a week Periscoping is better than twice a week. No one's picked number 2. Or wait, did I flip that around? Is twice a week better than once a week? Or the opposite? I just want to make sure I got it. I'm giving the multiple choice options and I'm not even keeping track. Okay. So yes, presence is important. Once a week. Okay. Presence is important, but you want to make sure that you're not overwhelming people and you want to be effective. Like for instance, we have 4 people here, which is great. And I'm glad that you guys are here, but I would love that to be double digits the next time we meet. Okay, good. A follow-up visit, which is book number 2, the follow-up to A Superwoman Complex, is coming. Yesterday, literally, Amy, my assistant, it might be the time of day, I get that. My assistant, Amy, and I pressed the send button to the printer for book number 2. We are excited. We are tentatively planning our book launch for July, so stay tuned. We are excited. I've revamped DocSwiner.com, so go check that out. Thank you. Go check out DocSwiner.com, and I'm going to write that down. My Doc Swiner store. Please go check that out because that's where you can find, all of my books. You can find t-shirts. You can find bags, tees, bit.ly/DocSwiner store. Thank you. Y'all go check that out. Thank y'all so much for joining. I am self-published, Miss Simply Maritza. Yeah, self-published. Self-published the first book, How to Avoid the Superwoman Complex, last year. Self-publishing the second one, and I'm helping others to self-publish their own manuscripts and books. So if you have a book on your spirit, in your heart, book you've been working on for years and never knew how to get it to print, let me know. I would love to help you. All right, my friends. Thanks for joining. Thank you for your help, and fight the man cold, defeat the man flu. Oh, T-Buzz, you're joining. Hi, sweetheart. I would love to good to see you too. I would love to have gotten your opinion, but gotta go see some patients, okay? Love you guys. Bye-bye.